Hello, my name is Joe, and welcome to my channel, Joe's Book and Movie Corner. Today I have a tag video for you. I was tagged by Pat at Book Chat with Pat, and this is the If I Owned a Bookstore tag created by Bob at Robert G. Reader of Books. So it's pretty simple. Basically, money is no object. This is a total fantasy. It doesn't have to make financial sense. So I had a lot of fun thinking about this. So let's get started. Number one, what are the hours of operation? I like the idea of the bookshop staying open late. So I'm going to say 10 to 9, or maybe even 11 to 9. But that 9 p.m. closing is I think, kind of a good idea. And, you know, that's a long shift. There'd be people working there with multiple shifts. Number two, is there ambient music? What kind? So as we'll get through this, I'll start describing. Maybe I'll kind of wait towards the end to actually describe my vision for this place. In short, there's going to be an upfront, a little more open area, and I do think it would be nice to have some ambient music. But that music would not be like, you might not be able to hear it through the entire bookstore as you get into it. Basically, I'm envisioning kind of this labyrinth maze-like place. My favorite bookstores, used bookstores, are somewhat maze-like. But up in front, it would be a little more open. And yeah, I think some maybe classical, cool jazz. So calm jazz, not smooth jazz, cool jazz. Not bebop. And then maybe some other like calming instrumental music. But you wouldn't necessarily hear it as you get further in. Number three, is there a coffee bar? Do you serve alcohol? I think, yes, that might be a good idea. So I'm actually envisioning two coffee places where you can get coffee. One, so when you walk up front, it's a little more open, and I think off to the side, maybe even... So off to the side, I think it would be cool to have a coffee shop. There'd have to be a door, so the sounds from the coffee shop aren't always kind of going into the bookstore. And then maybe that coffee shop even has its own separate storefront, but you could get to it from the bookshop. And then there'd be coffee, maybe wine, I don't know. But my other idea, so I'm describing a place with a more open front, and as you get into it, the bookshelves get tighter and it becomes more labyrinth, where all the books actually are. And then as you get through, I have this idea of having one room deep into this labyrinth maze-like bookshop where it almost feels like a little speakeasy inside. And there it's more coffee, and not like a bar, but like one little bar area where you can order maybe a seasonal drink. My first idea was it would be nice in the spring and summer to order a spritz. I like spritzes. And then maybe in the winter months you'd have some other cocktail, or maybe just like scotch and brandy or something. So that'd be kind of cool. Okay, number four. Are patrons encouraged to linger? Are there comfortable chairs? What kind of lighting? Are there tables? Are there areas for group gatherings? In short, yes, patrons are encouraged to linger, but mostly because it is a labyrinth-type bookstore where you go in and you have to find the section that you want. There's a lot of books here, so the sections are very, very big. So to get to crime fiction, you have to go find it. I was in a bookstore I can't remember the name. I'm going to look up the name of this bookstore real quick. Okay, so I looked it up. It's Baldwin's Book Barn in Westchester, Pennsylvania. This is the kind of place I'm using almost as a model. And it's like 3 or 4 stories. It's very maze-like, very labyrinth. And they give out maps. You like literally have to have a map to find your way around. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for my fantasy bookstore. So patrons, so you can linger because it's so maze-like and labyrinth. And I'm mentioning that there is like a speakeasy area. Okay, so in Asheville, North Carolina, there's a bookstore called Battery Park Book Exchange and Champagne Bar. And if you look up pictures online, I'll probably post a picture of it. This is kind of what I'm thinking for like the speakeasy area, like comfortable seating, It's not a full bar. It's just like a little stand. It's still you're still encouraged to be quiet. Maybe back in this area, the books are again a little more for aesthetics. Maybe the art books would be back here, and then maybe you'd have a table for seating and also gatherings as well. Number 5, is there live entertainment, poetry readings, authors reading from their current works, lectures, and literature? Yeah, I think maybe you'd have live entertainment. Maybe, you could have something up front, or in that, kind of in the deep part, the speakeasy area, which is maybe not even on the map. You got to know how to get to it. Yeah, maybe you could have author readings, poetry readings. And I like the idea of lectures and literature. So yeah, sure. Number 6, where is your bookstore located? In the busy heart of a large city, in a neighborhood of a large city, in a suburban strip mall, in a small town, in a rural area. So I'm thinking almost like the city I live in. I live in a city, but it used to be a town. So maybe the old town square of a small city is kind of, I think, what would be good. You would need a lot of traffic for people getting in there, but I don't want to be in an actual downtown of a huge city. Number 7, how does your bookstore look from the outside? Sleek and modern, dark and brooding. Definitely not sleek and modern, but not really dark. Maybe a darker feel, but not really brooding. For the inside, just to describe, obviously this question is about the outside, but we can see in this main front area. So in the main front area, I definitely want dark shelves. I like very, very dark wood, or even maybe painted black. Going back to lighting inside, the lighting is dim, but the shelves themselves are kind of well lit, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the feel I'm going for. Think almost like Bag End in The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Just like a coziness, but also with a slightly darker look to it, with dark shelves. Number 8, what's your specialty? Used books, new and used, only fiction, only nonfiction, fiction or nonfiction. Does your bookstore specialize in a particular genre? No, it does not specialize in a particular genre. Definitely used books. Although I would like in that front area, I think there should be at least a few shelves or a table of new books as well. I would like a big sci-fi and fantasy section, and I think sci-fi and fantasy should be deep within it. So again, open area in front, the new books would be up front. Behind that, you'd have almost like the bookshop in Westchester, Baldwin's Book Barn. Up towards the front, they have collected or nice collector's items, your first editions would be your first printings and first editions would be up front. So that'd be nice. So there'd be a little bit more space up front. Your first editions, very nice copies of books would be up front. And then as you get inside, there'd be maybe a couple different pathways to get into the actual bookshop itself. And then the hallways get narrow. It feels very warm. There'd be so many books to where it's neat, it's organized, but it almost feels like it's bursting out of the seams just barely. And then as you get deep, I like the idea of the fantasy and sci-fi being deep into it. That'd be really cool. And as I mentioned, maybe the coffee shop has its own entrance. And also, I think, this is Joe's Book and Movie Corner, I also think maybe deep inside, and the aesthetics would be a little bit different in this area, but I think it'd be cool to have a used DVD and Blu-ray section as well. Number 9, what's the name of your bookstore? I'm thinking, this is Joe's Book and Movie Corner, so I like the idea of corner being in the name. If the bookshop is on an actual corner, maybe you just call it Corner Bookshop. Another idea would be if it's the town square, it'd be Town Square Bookshop, or if it's on a street Main Street Bookshop, something almost a little not overly creative, if that makes sense. Number 10, tag some friends. If you're watching this, consider yourself tagged. Also, I'll go ahead and tag some people down in the description. If you're being tagged again in this, I apologize, but it's just more encouragement for you to do this tag. It was a lot of fun. So that's all for now. Thank you.